Hello, this is Khalil Stell, and right now I'm working on the EE 138 lab project. But in this particular case, I've actually taken another student's lab code, final code for the motor controller lab, and I ported it over to FreeRTOS. Right now, it's currently on idle. I'm going to get it to accelerate up to 1,500 RPMs, and although currently it's not, I can't release the tachometer right now, but when I did do testing with the tachometer, it did show the same performance. I verified that it is at around about 1,500 RPM, and has about the same performance as the version that ran without FreeRTOS. So that's pretty much that there. Everything still works, such as for position control. So now I'm going to set it to position of 180. 180. And it went over to 180-ish. Should move its way in. There you go. And then I can actually feel it fighting back against me. Yeah, it's kind of difficult to see that. One of the key things is that, let's see if I can get this in. Okay, so what I've done is I've actually split up the code into 4 different sections. Before, there was only like 2 time interrupts that you could append a interrupt or a function call to, which meant that a lot of code had to be crammed into 2 function calls, varying or 2 interrupts. In this case, what I've actually done is, let's see if I can get to it. It's v display controller, v PID controller. Here we are. So here we can see that we have v handle. Let's zoom in. Whoa. Okay. So now we have a handler for the keypad. So we just check the keypad every 5 milliseconds. We also have a handler for the segment display. Before it said that it was supposed to run at 60 hertz, but I saw way too much flickering at 60 hertz. So I found that it works the best, or works like it did before in the previous code, at around about 200 hertz. The PID controller also works at around about 200 hertz. That's the same. The only difference between this and the previous ones is that it runs with vtask delay until, so we have to set up a task get ticks count. And the last task that's here is the v display controller task. So besides having just 2 different interrupt calls to do all this work, I split it up into 3, and I think it can even be split up into more calls even after that. And then also one additional thing is that the code that I've written is not thread safe. I haven't seen any issues thus far. I've seen a little bit of glitching on the 7-segment display, but beyond that, I haven't seen any other issues. But I do plan on making it thread safe for the purposes of getting this prepared for the lab, for the EE 138 lab students. And that's pretty much it. This is my first step, and then hopefully the next step will be doing more performance checks, and then after that, getting the system to be thread safe, and that'll be it.